Waiting on Aaron. There we go. Did you get the invite, Aaron? Can okay. You I sent you an invite. I think you just number one, join through the invite you shared. Let me see. Accept. Okay. Got it. Let me turn on your camera. What up?
Hey, there we go. How's it going, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, brother. Doing good.
Good. So I say you work out.
Try to, man. Try to.
Yeah. I guess that helps you a lot, don't it?
Without a doubt, man. A lot of people they think, go to the gym, try to look good, but man, it really is just like a mental therapy.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, it's a pleasure to get to do this with you, and I am looking forward to talking to you and talking about your story. And but first, where are you from?
I'm from Rainsville, Alabama.
Okay, so did you go to Plainview?
I went to, man, it's been crazy. I went to Plainview and then Fort Payne for half a second grade, 7th through 10th, and then 11th and 12th back at Plainview.
Okay, all right. So what year did you graduate? I got a bunch of buddies from Plainview.
2018.
Oh, okay. So you're young. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, young compared to me. I graduated in 2002. Yeah. So, Aaron, you said that you used to get into a lot of trouble, and I would like to know how you've been dealing with overcoming your struggles, like we all have.
For me, man, it was just honest to God. You know, I grew up in a drug house, but my grandparents, we call them Mama and Papa around here, but they kept me in church as a kid and all that, so I always knew, about church and stuff. But man, finding my own relationship with Christ is that was honest to God the biggest thing for me to. The word says whenever you truly give your life to Christ, it's like you die and become a new man. And I see no resemblance anymore of, who I used to be and the things that I used to do. So I truly do believe that.
No, I believe it too, and you're right. You have to find your own personal relationship with God, and I think once you do that and establish a conversation with God, a daily walk with Him, it changes everything, and He guides you. And we're all still rough around the edges,
Right.
but it's a daily walk.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So, you said that you grew up in a drug house, like a lot of kids do. A lot of kids around here has grown up in that type of atmosphere,
Yeah.
and I just want to know how that affected you as a kid.
Man, I don't want this to, before I even like go into like the story or anything, I want to start off saying I love my parents and I've forgive them for anything that happened in my childhood, but I don't want it to sound like I'm putting them down
Yeah,
through this story,
yeah,
but it is a part of it. And I tell people one of my very first memories in life, being like 2 years old, walking into my dad's room and him rolling a joint or whatever. And I asked him what it was, and he said, "Oh, it's just a homemade cigarette." And that's one of my very first memories in life. And growing up, my parents divorced real young, man. And living with my mom, man, there was there was times where me and my sister, we found her needles and stuff. One 4th of July, she tripped out on acid, and my sister was 12, I believe. I was 10, and my sister had to drive us home and stuff because she tripped on acid with some of her friends, and we went to go watch the fireworks for 4th of July. Ended up being one guy there that he was tripping with her, and he had some spice and stuff. And me and my sister thought it was a good idea to take it and hide it because our mom, she was in not a good place at the time. And he was, hey, let's smoke some spice and stuff. And so me and my sister, we took it and hid it from him. Well, he obviously knew that we had hid it, and he grabbed me up and threatened to hurt us, and said, look, I don't want to do this. Just tell me where it's at. And so my sister ended up giving it to him, and they ended up doing or whatever. But just real dark childhood. Ended up getting taken away from our mom whenever I was 12. And because she got involved in a shootout on the highway with two gentlemen. They were on meth. I don't know how they ended up getting out of the car. But the story is one guy had my mom with a knife, and the other guy was like, hey, let her go, she's got kids and stuff. And he ended up kind of like tossing my mom to the side, and the guy with the knife started charging at him. Well, the other guy shot him a couple times, and they picked him up, rushed him to the hospital, and that story made local news, and my dad saw it, and that was whenever he came and took me and my sister back from our mom. And whenever I moved to 5th, 7th through 10th grade year, that's whenever that occurred.
Wow, man. That had to be traumatic for you.
It was, man. And it's, it's crazy now because you think back to that stuff, and I'm thankful now in a weird way that I've went through all this stuff because it makes you who you are today. I feel like I'm a lot stronger of a person, not physically, but, spiritually and mentally, just because, man, as a kid, you remember all those nights just crying, why am I going through this stuff? And, it's like the word says, you don't understand the things that I'm doing right now, but later on you will. And, man, I truly believe that it's made me a better person today because I went through that stuff. But before I got better, I ended up going down that road myself, as a teenager.
Just getting wild and reckless.
And it was my fault, man, because so whenever I got taken away from my mom at 12 years old, it was rough at my dad's because we had, my dad, my stepmom, and I think there was 5 siblings. Yeah, it was me and my 2 brothers. We shared a room, so there was 3 of us in a room. They were both older than me, and then my sister, my older sister, and my younger sister at the time, they shared a room. And so and we lived on a farm and stuff. My dad, it wasn't his farm, but he was the one that took care of it, chicken houses and stuff like that. But through those times, it really shaped me good, because from my time living with my dad's from 12 to 15, it might have been 16. I was 16, 15, 16, somewhere in there. I was working on the farm with my dad. I was playing football for 5, beta club member, all A's, B's. And I was an Eagle Scout too, just my dad, he really did what he could to shape me to be a good man, but didn't have any kind of childhood whatsoever through that time period because, it's just work. And so whenever I was at the end of 15 to 16, I basically told him, hey, I'm sick of this. I'm old enough now. I'm going back to live with mom. And that I think that's what kind of played a part in me going so wild. Maybe not. Just kind of my thought process because, we had fun moments and stuff, but I didn't feel like I got to let loose a lot as a kid, and so whenever I moved back with my mom, man, I that's got buck wild.
Yeah, you let loose. It went for you.
Yeah,
I love what you said earlier about that you felt like you needed to go through this. You needed to go through this darkness that you went through, and it helped shape who you are today. And I really love that because I believe the same thing. That all
right,
the darkness is we can use it to help bring up other people, help encourage other people that's been where we've been.
right,
And I really loved what you said about Nick Knox because I I still hope the best for him. Okay, all the shit that I'm saying is for a reason.
right,
It's for a whole reason. But what you said is what I'm trying to do too. That it is highlighting the good and the bad of all of us. That
right.
we can all do terrible things or bad things or good things, and that's just the human nature of us. And and him treating you good. Yeah, I do remember Nick treating people with respect like that, and so he treated you good.
Yeah, and that was another thing. That's why I commented the way I did because I wasn't trying to, hey, don't talk about him like that. I wasn't trying to disregard your story. It was just man, in a time whenever a new, fresh 18-year-old felt like the world was caving in on him, there was one guy in that moment that could have been like the other jokers at that house, and to heck with this kid, and but he came to the window and he opened the door for me and he was like, "Hey man, because I had sat there for a couple hours while they were
Was this a
searching the
search
house and
warrant?
stuff." Do what?
Was this a search warrant or something? Was they
So they kind of, it's weird how it happened, man. It was so. What had happened with that was how the day I got arrested and stuff. A buddy of mine had stayed the night with me. And like I said, I was, bad person. We went car hopping in my neighborhood. At first we were just looking for money, and ended up finding a tool. Trying to stay TikTok friendly here.
Yeah, yeah.
Found a tool and we took it. We were going to try to sell it the next day and stuff. Ended up waking up and we were playing with it like a bunch of idiots, and ended up I accidentally shot him. And so when that happened, I picked him up, rushed him to the hospital, and it was Kevin Smith and Eric Tidmore that came. Um, Everything was cool at the hospital. I was trying to lie through my teeth, through the whole situation because I I knew Tidmore because whenever I was 16, he, God, who was the other guy that was with him? Not Pickett, bald guy. He got arrested for a DUI a while back,
Oh,
actually.
Pinnaker.
Pinniger, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Pinniger and Tidmore pulled me and one of my buddies over when I was 16, and they found like a little piece of marijuana on us, took us back to the Rainsville Police Department, called their parents. But so I knew Tidmore at the time. This was 2 years later. And he started to recognize me whenever they put me in the cop car, and I wasn't under arrest or anything because all they knew is that it was accidental shooting and stuff. And so I wasn't in handcuffs or anything like that. They just said, "Hey, we got to go back to the house and take pictures of where it happened and stuff and all that." Well, as I was sitting in the back of the cop car, I was texting my mom like, "Hey, hide this, hide that." And Tidmore, he reached back there and he grabbed my phone and he showed it to Kevin Smith and he was like, "Look, I told you there was more to this." And that right there was whenever my butt was cooked,
Yeah.
uh, so whenever that happened, as soon as we got home, they went inside and started taking pictures and stuff. They found some stuff. They arrested me, my mom, and my stepdad. And my stepdad had just pulled up from work at Hile,
Wow.
and he was like, "What's going on?" And they said, "Do you live here?" And he said, "Yeah, yeah." And they said, "Book him." I felt bad for him, kinda, but yeah, it was a rough day that day, man. I tell you.
Oh, I bet. So after that happened to you, what did you have to do? Did you get charged? What did you get charged with? And did you have to do color code and all that?
I did. So the court process, it was about a year long, like going to court dates and stuff. They kept getting pushed back. I was on color code for 3 or 6 months. I can't remember. And then at almost a year's date was whenever they finally, I guess you'd say, sentenced me or whatever. So I got charged with assault to the second. Thankfully I got to plead youthful offender.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great. That's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
so got to play youthful offender. Had to do 3 years of probation and stuff. Did all that, no problem. And thankfully now it's off my record and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that's what the process looked like after it.
So was that the time that you realized, all right, I gotta pull my head out my ass. I gotta turn, or did it keep going on for a little bit until it just
Man, so like I told you, whenever I was at five, it was like I was living a double life, because I was a B student. I was a football player. People that didn't know my dark past, or the dark side of me, everyone thought I was this good kid, and I had a bunch of people fooled. Well, whenever I got arrested and stuff, and all that got out, everyone knew my dirty laundry then, and so we sat in jail about a week, and then when we got out, um, my mom and stepdad, they went to go out and try to ask friends and family, like, hey, can you lend us some money? Because my stepdad, he was put on, what do they call it? They didn't terminate him, but they paid without leave, or
yeah
not.
suspended?
Yeah, kind of. And so, they were asking friends and stuff. Well, I had went on Facebook and I saw the post to me and stuff. I saw all these. There was teachers. There were my friends' family members and stuff, and they on this post, kind of bashing me and stuff. Even friends that I was doing the stupid stuff with were on there saying like, "Yeah, it's about time he got what he had coming," and do. I felt like the world was against me, and in this, I want to shine light on mental health and stuff, because in that moment, dude, it was like something really had came over me, and I was TikTok friendly. I was going to delete myself. And so my mom, she has a wild past. Well, because of that past, I ain't going to get into it, but she always slept on the couch, and she always had a tool in between the couch cushion and the arm of the couch. Always. Never left there, just because she was always worried about something happening. Well, whenever they went out to go ask friends for money and stuff, it was just me at home. And like I said, after seeing all that stuff, man, it was like something had came over me, man, and I just convinced myself that I was worthless. And I sat there and just kind of numb and dull in a weird headspace, man. It's like something came over me. And I told myself, hey, I'm worthless. There's no sense in me being here anymore. And so, I knew my mom had kept that gun there. Well, I started writing out some letters to people, telling them I'm sorry. I hate that I had done this and stuff. And I reached right there for that gun, and I didn't feel it, man. And so I stood up and I started flipping couch cushions and stuff. It wasn't anywhere on the couch. And so it was like I just snapped back, and I just sat there and I was bawling my eyes out, man. And when my mom and stepdad got home, I was still crying. And they came in, saw me crying. Aaron, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, what'd you do with your tool? And she said, well, I moved it this morning because I was going to let Mike clean it. And that right there, man, out of all days that she could have done that, man, it still gives me chills. That was whenever I was like, man, God's got a purpose for me. Yeah, I screwed up. I did. But, I'm here for a reason. And that's, ever since that day, I have lived my life for Christ. I do my best to help other people now. if I
Yeah.
can, you know. But yeah, that was the moment where hey,
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm sorry. Got a dog in here.
no, you're all good, brother.
But yeah, yeah, the Lord did that. I believe it was
Absolutely.
the Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Hiding that gun. But what are you doing now? And yeah.
Man, I've got my college degree. I got a business degree under me. I went and got my CDLs. I would drive for Coca-Cola. Um, they send you off to school and pay for your CDL and stuff. So I was like, shoot, yeah, that's like having a degree in your back pocket as well. So I went and got my CDL for them, got a business degree, man, and been there almost 3 years now. Just raising, taking care of a family. I got a business plan that I plan on starting up beginning of next year because I love Coke. It's a great company to work for. And I think I've heard you say this, I'm the type of person, man, I want to work for myself,
You want to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you seem like you're a very intelligent and well put together young man that's got a bright future ahead of you, and it's been a pleasure hearing your story. We can do this. We can do this whenever you want to. But that I love hearing that you're working for Coke, you got your CDLs, but you got a plan to bet on yourself. I love that.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. I couldn't do it without my wife, man. We've been together 10 years now. We were dating and stuff when all this was going on, and she's been the only one that hasn't left my side through it all. And so she's I besides God and stuff, I owe her a lot too, man. She's been a real one.
Yeah. So y'all lean on each other.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's rare, man. That's rare to find somebody you can lean on and work
Right.
with and grow together. And yeah, I love hearing that.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate this opportunity to get on here and talk to you, man. Like I said, I love helping people, and if there's anything that someone can get from this story, to help them, or that they can relate to, that's because at the end of the day, we've all got sad stories, man. And so but I hope that there's something that someone can pull from this and really help themselves with.
Well, your story ain't over.
Absolutely not.
Your story ain't over. There's still a lot more pages to write, and you're just a couple chapters in maybe. And I hope the very best for you on your journey. That's what it is, and it ain't about the destination. We all know that. It's about the journey. And I would like to talk to you some more whenever you want to, because I love your story, man. I think people can get a lot from it, and I'll share this live with you. I'll send it to you, and I'm going to clip it up. But yeah, you got a powerful testimony, man.
Dude, I appreciate you, brother. I really do.
Yeah. Well, buddy, I'm gonna hop off here, and we can do this whenever you want to. Okay.
Absolutely, man.
It was a pleasure talking to you, Aaron.
Same to you.
All right, buddy. See you, man.
Have a good one, brother.
You too.